Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, July 30th, 2024. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. A $22 million program will soon be rolled out for fishermen and farmers affected by Hurricane Beryl. This was announced today by Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Rural Transformation, Industry and Labor, Sabota Caesar. The program will include repairs to boats damaged by the Category 4 storm, which destroyed boats on July 1st, 2024. Minister Caesar said the program will be decentralized to accommodate fishermen at specific locations.
We are going to put in place a cadre of facilitators to work with the farmers and to work with the fishers throughout the length and breadth of this country, so that it is going to be a $22 million program that will roll out quite easily without the farmer having to leave the farm or to leave the area fishing and spend a lot of time in a line in Kingstown or in a line at a department store. We are going to provide direct support to the fisher folk of St. Vincent and the Grenadines so that they can repair their boats. We want to bring all of the engines into one place and the damaged boats, of course, with the permission of the fishers.
And as for the farmers, Minister Caesar said the production support will start in about a week's time. Farmers are required to sign up to be part of the program, through which they will receive assistance to restart their farms.
To spend significant sums on providing the tractor services needed for persons to get back into production, and the tractor operators will be requested to submit the names of the persons who over the last 12 months they facilitated in providing services, and we are going to contact these farmers. Of course, if your name is not on the list, you can go directly to the facilitator in your area, and we are going to advertise where persons will be able to go in your district. We are also going to provide assistance with seedlings, and we are going to ramp up the production from the ministry's standpoint at all agriculture stations. So for persons who are awaiting planting material, I want you to be assured that we will be assisting with this.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries is seeking eligible persons to form part of the National Food Production Recovery Team. The registration started today at the Ministry of Agriculture headquarters in Kingstown.
We are going to, in the upcoming days, request of persons who have graduated from the technical college, persons who returned from universities, who have certificates, degrees in agriculture and fisheries, issues touching and concerning climate change, those technical areas, to come into the Ministry of Agriculture so that you can be registered to be a part of the recovery framework that we are going to launch in the next 7 days.
Income support as well as production support was budgeted for in the supplementary estimates, which was passed in Parliament more than a week ago. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has commended the Venezuelan people who, according to the ministry, exercised their free will and voice in the recently held elections, reaffirming their commitment to democracy. Congratulations were also extended to President-elect Nicolas Maduro on his victory and re-election to the presidency of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela for a 3rd term. The statement read, SVG remains confident that President Maduro will continue the just cause of the Bolivarian Revolution, building on the foundation already laid, despite the challenges that confront the country. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs also stated that the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are fully satisfied that the Venezuelan National Electoral Council, the CNE, The government and people of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela conducted a peaceful presidential elections on Sunday, July 28, 2024, within a democratic framework and progress which accords with the requisite high standard of the international community. The press release further added that the ministry applauds the participation of all invited electoral observers, including from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who were able to observe the electoral process and Venezuela's robust electoral system firsthand. The press release noted that St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela have strong bilateral ties and work closely together in regional and international organizations. It concluded by stating that St. Vincent and the Grenadines deeply values its relationship and friendship with the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, which has flourished for over 2 decades, and reiterated its commitment to continue deepening the existing relation of friendship, cooperation, firm solidarity, and integration between the two countries over the next 6 years and beyond. Opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday has voiced his disappointment with the consultations that were held with residents of Union Island recently with Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Speaking on the New Democratic Party's New Times radio program on Nice Radio, Dr. Friday said he does not support students schooling on mainland St. Vincent, lamenting the consultations being held after plans were already in place for schooling.
The only way that would be something that I would support is if it is an absolutely the last resort, that you have no other option, that you have tried all the other options and this is the last resort. You know, people understand that there will be some discomfort, but what we don't want is for them to be unsafe. So discomfort they can put up with if it means that they're going to get things done faster and their homes get back into their homes, get their businesses up. The funds that are being voted or being spent now on the assisting the persons with the relief effort and so forth. You know, the more that it is spent in the communities that are affected, the faster the community is going to recover.
And also on NDP's New Times radio program, Dr. Godwin Friday called on the government to be more specific on how they plan to spend the $136.4 million supplementary budget for the hurricane response in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The opposition leader questioned the limited information on how hurricane-affected persons could access resources available.
Statements. I don't want to hear one man talking about it and talking in generalities and about possibilities. And by now we should know how it is that people who have been affected, how they will be assisted. We know the people in the shelter, they took some time, but hopefully they have mechanisms in place to provide for the people in the shelter to provide their daily needs. But also those persons who want to get a roof back on their house. They want to return to their lives, in particularly those in the Southern Grenadines. How do they access the resources that have been made available, the money and the materials that have been made available to assist them?
Meanwhile, Dr. Friday praised the VINLEC workers for the tireless work reinstalling and restoring electricity to customers. However, he noted with concern the information forthcoming from sources other than VINLEC.
I'd like to hear as well from VINLEC, the CEO of VINLEC, to find out what exactly the challenges, you know, that we face with getting the Southern Grenadines power back up. I don't want to hear from a politician. I want to hear a technical person say, this is the damage that is done, this is how we are responding to it. Not that we are fixing it sort of like if it's a routine problem that we have. This is a crisis. You know, we have to respond with the urgency and with the level of resources necessary to make a difference quickly. Show us that you're treating it with the urgency, not just spreading it out over a period of 3 or 4 months because you're treating it as just, you know, not with the level of urgency that is required. I'm bringing the resources to bear on it that is required. I'm not saying that this is happening, but I would like to hear it from the CEO. That is a major utility.
As SVG joined the rest of the world today in observing the United Nations World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, Head of Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit Assistant Superintendent of Police, Junior Simmons, says his department has been making strides in tackling the problem locally. ASP Simmons stated that since the formation of the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit 12 years ago, there have been over 50 potential cases of human trafficking in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and only one that made it to court.
All of these cases that we investigated, they were referred to the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, because we cannot charge someone for human trafficking if we don't get the directives or direction from the DPP's office. We cannot charge someone for human trafficking if there's no evidence to charge. So over that period, we have only charged one individual for human trafficking, and that matter went before the court, and it was dismissed for lack of evidence. All right, so in order for us to, as I said before, to charge, there must be enough evidence.
In 2015, one person went to trial as it relates to human trafficking. However, due to a lack of concrete evidence, the trial was dismissed. ASP Simmons explained that there are several elements of human trafficking, which include activities such as recruitment, transfers, and harboring of victims.
Then you have the means. What was used to recruit the victim? Were they forced? Were they kidnapped? Were they coerced? Were they deceived? Were they in a vulnerable position? And the final element is called the purpose or the exploitation. What they went through while being a victim of human trafficking. Were they forced to work as a sex slave? Were they forced to work as a laborer on a farm? Or were they forced to work in a home as a domestic servant? Were their organs removed and sold on the black market? But the victims, they are exploited over and over and over for the purpose of material, financial benefits of the human traffickers.
With the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit making headway in tackling trafficking in persons in SVG, ASP Simmons said they will not be lenient with human traffickers, as they will face the full brunt of the law.
For this crime, very grave, it is strict jail term. If you're convicted for human trafficking, you're in jail. The court will not charge you a fine, because human trafficking is a very expensive criminal business. The traffickers, they can easily pay that fine. If you're convicted, you go straight to jail. The law was amended last year, in May, to make it a strictly imprisonment sentence. Human trafficking, it can be happening right in front of your eyes, and you do not know, because it is a crime that happens under the radar, as we say. It's like a black market crime. If you do not know the signs, what to look for, the indicators, it can be happening right in your home, and you do not know.
Persons are being called on to report any form of human trafficking to the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit. Meantime, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit, in collaboration with the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons and partners, held a march and rally today at Heritage Square. It was attended by members of the police youth clubs. St. Vincent Electricity Services Limited, VINLEC, says that customers' electricity bills for July 2024 will be estimated. VINLEC in a statement said the estimated reading is being done due to the challenges posed by Hurricane Beryl. It was noted that the fuel surcharge rate for July is 64.51 cents. The electricity company said Hurricane Beryl has caused significant disruptions, preventing the reading of all electricity meters, hence resulting to an estimate reading. The utility company is, however, assuring all customers that all reasonable efforts will be made to reconcile any discrepancies between estimated and actual usage in bills issued for the month of August. Meanwhile, VINLEC has waived the July bills for customers in the Southern Grenadines, Canawan, Mairo, and Union Island. These charges were waived due to Hurricane Beryl's impact. The Kingdom of Morocco, in a joint collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, has announced an extension of the application deadline to August 10, 2024 for the Moroccan Scholarship Scheme. The Moroccan Scholarship Program will provide 30 full scholarships to Vincentian students wishing to pursue their studies in Moroccan public universities, 10 scholarships, vocational training centers, 10 scholarships at the Al Atwan University of Ifrane, 10 scholarships during the academic year of 2024-2025. Applicants are encouraged to submit applications for the Moroccan scholarships through the Service Commissions Department. Emancipation Day will be observed on Thursday, August 1st, 2024, and the Department of Culture plans a month of activities in August. The activities, which will be observed under the theme Embracing the Past, Forging Ahead in the Future, will spotlight the nation's rich history. In an interview with SVG-TV News, Cultural Officer with the Ministry of Culture, Maxine Brown, noted the significance of commemorating Emancipation Day in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and this year it will be observed with a difference.
On March 2nd, with the Emancipation Cultural Rally at Heritage Square, and so you know we have just come out of Hurricane Beryl. Some people were affected, and NEMO has been working very hard. They're on board. They have been helping tremendously. But on that day at Heritage Square, we'll have our liquor barrel there if you want to bring any food items for the people who are affected nationally. You can give it to us, and we'll ensure that they get what you have delivered. So let's do something too, because at culture, we appeal to the psychosocial element of our people to make them happy and alert and alive. Sometimes that works, but sometimes they need something tangible, and if you're hungry, we can feed them. If you're not feeling alive, we will bring the vigor through the art. So yes, at culture, we do our part to ensure that everyone is happy, and nothing beats art integration. It appeals to all ages, all skill set, everyone. Culture, we do our part too.
Ask about young people being made aware and educated on emancipation. The cultural officer says there has been an improvement in awareness over the years. Speaking on this year's theme, Brown pointed out that it resonates with her on a personal level.
The emancipation theme, embracing the past, forging ahead in the future, resonates with me more. Why? It's often said, and I think it was Marcus Mazagab who said, that people without the knowledge of their past history, origin and culture, is like a tree without roots, and we cannot be like a tree without roots. And so to bring the theme into context, embracing the past, you have to know where we came from, so we can be better able to appreciate the future, and hence forging ahead in the future. So that theme, this year's emancipation theme, embracing the past, forging ahead in the future, has resonated with me.
An Emancipation Celebration Rally at Heritage Square will kickstart the month of activities on Friday, July 2nd, 2024.
Great Emancipation Month in August. One of our major activities is the Emancipation Cultural Rally this Friday, August 2nd at Heritage Square. This event will begin at 4 p.m. sharp. At Heritage Square, there will be several cultural performances in dance, in drumming, singing, and a list of other items, all arts related. Of course, this will be interspersed with speeches from our lead representatives, our lead personnel, who will bring messages based on Emancipation Month. And so everything will revolve around emancipation.
Other emancipation activities will be held across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. These include an Emancipation Historical Walk, National Dance Festival Launch, African Dress Day, and a Caribbean Ties exhibition.